Growing old is inevitable, yet it is one of the most overlooked topics in modern society. As a doctor specializing in geriatrics and mental health, I have spent decades witnessing the challenges older adults face, not just physically, but emotionally and socially. One of the most critical questions that families must answer is, where should the elderly live? This is not just a logistical issue. It is a deeply moral, cultural, and psychological dilemma that reveals much about our values as a society. The way we treat our elderly determines the kind of world we are creating, not just for them, but for ourselves and future generations. In this discussion, I will explore the traditional and modern approaches to elderly care, the psychological and health impacts of different living arrangements, and why maintaining strong intergenerational bonds is crucial for both the elderly and their families. This video is brought to you by Golden Years Balance, where we focus on health, wellness, and psychology for older adults. If you find value in these insights, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking discussions. Part 1. The traditional view, elders as pillars of wisdom and stability. Throughout history, elders have been considered the backbone of families and communities. In many cultures, multi-generational living was not just common, it was expected. The wisdom, experience, and stability they provided made them invaluable to the fabric of society. In traditional societies, elders were revered, not only for their knowledge, but also for their role in maintaining familial and communal harmony. Why traditional societies valued elders in the home? Elders carried invaluable life lessons. Having lived through wars, economic hardships, personal losses, and triumphs, they amassed a wealth of knowledge that was crucial for guiding younger generations. Unlike theoretical knowledge gained from books, their wisdom was rooted in real-world experience. Their insights helped families make important decisions, avoid past mistakes, and navigate life's challenges with a sense of perspective. For example, in many Asian and indigenous cultures, it was common for young adults to seek guidance from their elders before making major life decisions such as marriage, career choices, or even community leadership roles. Their lived experiences provided a moral and practical compass that helped younger generations steer their paths with greater confidence. Having an elder in the household provided emotional grounding. They served as storytellers, the keepers of family history, and the moral compasses of the home. Their presence often diffused conflicts within the family, offering a sense of perspective and patience that younger members may lack. In many societies, elders played the role of mediators, resolving disputes with wisdom rather than emotion. Their ability to listen and offer thoughtful advice created a sense of stability that contributed to household harmony. Children and even adults found solace in their presence, turning to them for reassurance and comfort during difficult times. Traditions, cultural norms, and ethical values were passed down through lived experiences rather than textbooks. Elders acted as custodians of cultural heritage, ensuring that their descendants retained their identity and roots. For instance, in Native American communities, elders played a crucial role in preserving language, rituals, and oral histories. In African societies, the concept of Ubuntu, a philosophy emphasizing community and shared humanity, was passed down through the wisdom of elders. Similarly, in Confucian societies, filial piety emphasized respect and care for one's elders, reinforcing intergenerational bonds and moral values. Grandparents played a significant role in raising children, cooking, and even managing household conflicts. Their presence lightened the burden on middle-aged family members juggling careers and child-rearing. In many traditional households, grandparents served as secondary caregivers, providing childcare while parents worked. Their involvement not only ensured that children were well cared for, but also strengthened intergenerational bonds. Grandmothers often passed down cooking skills, teaching traditional recipes that kept cultural traditions alive. Grandfathers imparted life lessons, sharing stories that shaped the character and resilience of the younger generation. I once had a patient, Mrs. Liang, an 82-year-old woman from a Chinese immigrant family. She lived with her son, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren. Despite her age, she was the glue that held the family together. She taught her grandchildren the family's history, cooked meals with time-honored recipes, and provided emotional wisdom during difficult times. Her presence wasn't a burden, it was a blessing. Mrs. Liang's family respected her deeply, ensuring she remained an integral part of their lives. When her grandchildren struggled with school, she offered encouragement and patience. When conflicts arose, she provided mediation rooted in love and understanding. Her son often told me that without her, their family would feel incomplete. Compare this to another patient, Mr. Johnson, a retired school principal who was placed in a nursing home against his wishes. Though well cared for, he often expressed deep loneliness, feeling like an outsider in his own family's life. He lamented that he only saw his children on holidays and that his grandchildren barely knew him. The difference between these two cases was stark. One elder embraced and valued within the home, the other feeling discarded despite a lifetime of contributions. In many parts of the world today, the role of elders has diminished due to rapid urbanization, modernization, and changing family structures. In the West, the nuclear family model has largely replaced multi-generational living, often leading to the isolation of older adults. Career demands, geographical mobility, and financial constraints have contributed to a shift where elders are frequently placed in assisted living facilities rather than being cared for within the home. While such facilities provide medical and social support, they often lack the familial warmth and emotional connection that elders once enjoyed. As a result, many elderly individuals experience loneliness, depression, and a sense of purposelessness. The wisdom and experience they possess are often underutilized in society, leading to a loss of valuable cultural and moral knowledge. Despite these changes, it is possible to reintegrate elders into modern family life in meaningful ways. Here are a few ways to do so. Encouraging intergenerational bonding. Families can create more opportunities for interaction between elders and younger generations. Simple activities such as storytelling sessions, cooking traditional meals together, or involving elders in decision-making processes can help strengthen familial ties. Utilizing technology to stay connected. While geographical distance may separate families, technology can bridge the gap. Video calls, digital storytelling platforms, and online communities for seniors can help them stay connected with their loved ones and share their wisdom. Creating elder-friendly work and community spaces. Many elders still have the capacity to contribute actively to society. Encouraging part-time employment, mentorship programs, and volunteer opportunities can give them a renewed sense of purpose and keep them engaged with younger generations. Promoting cultural respect and awareness. Schools and community programs can educate young people about the value of elders in society, fostering a culture of respect and appreciation. This can be done through cultural heritage programs, elder storytelling events, and intergenerational workshops. Rethinking senior care. While some elders may require professional care, there should be a shift in perspective that views them not as burdens but as individuals with wisdom to offer. Family-centred elder care models, co-housing arrangements, and community-supported ageing initiatives can help create environments where elders feel valued and included. The traditional view of elders as pillars of wisdom and stability is not outdated. It is a perspective that modern society must seek to revive in new and meaningful ways. While the world has changed, the fundamental need for intergenerational connection, guidance, and emotional support remains. By recognizing the invaluable role of elders, embracing their wisdom, and integrating them into our lives, we not only honor them, but also enrich our own existence. The stories of Mrs. Liang and Mr. Johnson serve as reminders of the importance of maintaining strong intergenerational bonds. As individuals, families, and communities, we have the power to create a world where elders are not seen as burdens, but as invaluable members of society, sources of wisdom, stability, and love. The question we must ask ourselves is, are we doing enough to ensure that our elders feel valued, heard, and included? Part 2. The modern shift: efficiency over intergenerational bonds. Why the elderly are being removed from family life. In the past, multi-generational households were the norm. Grandparents, parents, and children often lived under one roof, sharing responsibilities, wisdom, and companionship. However, in modern society, particularly in the West, this traditional structure is fading. Increasingly, elderly individuals are being placed in care facilities rather than remaining integrated within their families. This shift is not accidental. It is driven by cultural, economic, and social factors that prioritize efficiency over intergenerational bonds. While care facilities offer structured environments, we must question whether this shift is truly beneficial for all involved. Is this change about the well-being of our elders, or is it driven by convenience? Western societies place a strong emphasis on individualism and self-sufficiency. Unlike many Eastern cultures, where filial piety dictates that children care for aging parents, Western culture values independence to the extent that dependence is often viewed negatively. Elderly individuals who require assistance are frequently seen as burdens rather than integral family members. This mindset is reinforced by the belief that every individual must take responsibility for their own life. The elderly are expected to plan for their retirement and healthcare, just as younger adults are expected to be self-sufficient. When they become dependent on others, many feel a sense of shame or inadequacy, further alienating them from their families. In contrast, societies that emphasize collective well-being see elder care as a shared responsibility rather than an individual burden. Modern families face immense economic pressures that make caring for elderly relatives increasingly difficult. Many adults work long hours to support their families, often juggling demanding careers with child-rearing responsibilities. In dual-income households, the challenge of providing care for aging parents is compounded by the high cost of living. As a result, the idea of bringing an elderly parent into the home becomes less feasible, both financially and logistically. In the past, one parent, usually the mother, often stayed home to care for children and aging relatives. However, in today's economy, this is rarely an option. Even those who would like to care for their elderly parents often find that they cannot afford to cut back on work. As a result, placing elderly family members in care facilities becomes a practical, albeit emotionally challenging, decision. Another significant factor in the decline of multi-generational living is urbanization. As populations move into cities, living spaces become smaller and more expensive. Many modern homes are designed for nuclear families with limited space for additional occupants. In dense urban areas where housing is at a premium, accommodating an elderly family member can be logistically impossible. In contrast, rural communities and traditional societies often have larger homes that accommodate extended families. The shift toward urban living has made this arrangement far less common. Even when families would like to keep their elderly relatives close, the reality of space constraints often forces them to seek external care solutions. As families struggle to balance work, financial obligations, and space limitations, assisted living facilities have emerged as a solution. These facilities offer professional care, medical supervision, and social opportunities for elderly individuals who might otherwise feel isolated. Many people justify placing their parents in care homes by arguing that professionals can provide better medical attention and structured activities. However, while these facilities offer physical care, they often lack the emotional warmth and connection that family members provide. Studies show that elderly individuals who are surrounded by family experience greater emotional well-being and cognitive function compared to those who live in institutional settings. Loneliness and depression are common issues among seniors in care facilities, particularly when family visits are infrequent. Additionally, the rise of for-profit elder care institutions raises ethical concerns. Many of these facilities are expensive, and not all provide high-quality care. Reports of neglect, understaffing, and substandard conditions highlight the risks associated with outsourcing elder care. While some facilities prioritize compassionate service, others operate with a profit-driven mindset, treating residents more as clients than as individuals with deep emotional needs. While Western societies are moving away from intergenerational living, many Eastern cultures continue to prioritize family bonds. In countries like China, Japan, and India, it is common for aging parents to live with their adult children. In these societies, elder care is seen as a moral duty rather than a choice. Cultural values such as filial piety encourage younger generations to respect and care for their elders. However, even in these cultures, modernization and economic shifts are beginning to challenge traditional norms. Urbanization, career demands, and changing social expectations are leading to a slow but noticeable decline in multi-generational households. As globalization spreads Western values, the preference for independence and efficiency over family integration is becoming more widespread. At its core, the decision to place elderly individuals in care facilities is often driven by convenience rather than genuine concern for their well-being. While it may seem practical, the emotional cost can be significant. Many elderly individuals feel abandoned when they are removed from their families. They experience a loss of identity and purpose as their role within the household diminishes. Furthermore, younger generations miss out on the wisdom and emotional support that grandparents provide. Intergenerational relationships offer unique benefits. Children who grow up with grandparents learn valuable lessons about resilience, history, and familial love. The absence of these connections can create a sense of detachment and weaken familial ties over time. If we truly care about the well-being of our elders, we must ask ourselves whether we are making choices based on their needs or our own convenience. Are we placing them in care facilities because it is best for them or because it is easier for us? There is no single solution to this complex issue, but we can take steps to strengthen intergenerational bonds, encourage multi-generational living where possible, even if it requires creative housing solutions, offer flexible work policies that allow adults to balance elder care with their careers, invest in home care options that provide professional support while keeping seniors within the family unit, prioritize regular visits to elderly relatives in care facilities to maintain emotional connections, challenge cultural narratives that portray elder care as a burden rather than an honour. While modern efficiency has its advantages, we must ensure that it does not come at the cost of human connection. The elderly deserve dignity, love, and a place within their families. By reassessing our priorities and making conscious choices, we can create a society that values its elders as burdens but as cherished members of the family. Part 3. The psychological and health impact of isolation. How living away from family affects the elderly. Isolation and loneliness are significant concerns for older adults, particularly those who live away from their families. As individuals age, social circles tend to shrink due to retirement, mobility limitations, and the passing of peers. When elderly individuals are physically separated from their families, the impact on their mental and physical health can be profound. Research has consistently shown that social isolation is closely linked to various psychological challenges, including higher rates of depression and anxiety. Elderly individuals who experience prolonged isolation are more likely to develop symptoms of depression and anxiety. The absence of social interaction can lead to feelings of worthlessness, sadness, and increased stress levels. Cognitive decline. Studies indicate that social engagement is crucial in maintaining cognitive function. Seniors who are isolated tend to experience a faster decline in memory, problem-solving abilities, and overall brain health. Increased risk of dementia. Loneliness and a lack of social engagement have been linked to a higher risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Social interactions help keep the brain active, whereas isolation can lead to mental stagnation. The effects of isolation are not limited to mental health. They also manifest in physical health conditions, including higher risk of chronic illnesses. Studies have found that elderly individuals who experience social isolation are at a greater risk of developing chronic conditions such as heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity. This is partly because social support encourages healthier lifestyles, whereas isolation can lead to neglect of physical well-being. Weakened immune system. Loneliness has been shown to weaken the immune system, making older adults more susceptible to infections and illnesses. Shortened lifespan. A lack of social connections has been linked to a significantly higher risk of premature death. In fact, research suggests that prolonged social isolation can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Dr. Susan Pinker, a psychologist, conducted research on the factors contributing to longevity. She found that social integration was one of the most crucial elements for a long and healthy life. Her studies indicated that elderly individuals who regularly interacted with family, friends, and their community had significantly longer lifespans than those who lived in isolation. One of her most famous case studies examined the residents of Sardinia, Italy, where people commonly live beyond 100 years. What set them apart from others was not their diet or exercise habits, but their deeply rooted social connections. Elders in Sardinia live in close-knit communities where daily interactions with family and neighbours are an integral part of life. This constant social engagement contributed to their mental resilience, reduced stress, and better overall health. Engagement with family and the community plays a crucial role in an elderly person's well-being. Some key aspects include emotional support. Having someone to talk to, share experiences with, and rely on during difficult times helps reduce stress and anxiety. Encouragement of healthy habits. Social interactions often encourage older adults to stay physically active, eat healthier, maintain medical checkups. Sense of purpose. Being involved in family life, volunteering, or engaging in hobbies can give elderly individuals a sense of purpose, improving their overall quality of life. While technology has made it easier to stay connected through video calls and messaging, it is not a perfect substitute for in-person interactions. Physical presence fosters deeper emotional bonds, reduces stress, and provides tactile comfort, such as a hug or a handshake, which virtual communication cannot fully replicate. To mitigate the negative effects of isolation, it is essential to implement strategies that promote social engagement. Encouraging family visits. Regular visits from family members can make a significant difference in an elderly person's emotional and mental health. Community programs. Local senior centres, religious groups and social clubs offer opportunities for engagement and meaningful connections. Adopting pets. A pet can provide companionship, reduce stress, and encourage physical activity. Volunteering. Getting involved in community service can create a sense of purpose and foster social interactions. Group activities. Engaging in group exercise classes, book clubs, or art classes can help combat loneliness and stimulate cognitive function. The psychological and physical health impact of isolation in older adults is undeniable. Loneliness can lead to increased rates of depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, chronic illnesses, and even a shorter lifespan. However, maintaining strong social connections with family, friends, and the community can significantly improve well-being and longevity. Society must prioritize the integration of elderly individuals into social networks, encouraging meaningful interactions that enhance their quality of life. Whether through family involvement, community engagement, or personal hobbies, fostering a sense of connection is key to healthy aging. Part 4. The best living arrangements for aging parents. As our parents grow older, one of the most critical decisions we face is determining the best living arrangement for them. Their well-being, safety, emotional health, and financial situation all play a role in making this choice. Every family is different, and what works for one may not be suitable for another. In this article, we explore the most common living arrangements for aging parents, weighing the pros and cons of each option. Option 1, living with family. One of the most traditional and culturally significant ways of caring for aging parents is having them live with family members. This option allows them to remain closely connected to loved ones while receiving direct care and support. Pros: emotional support and companionship. Being surrounded by family members can significantly improve an elderly person's emotional well-being. Loneliness is a major concern for older adults, and having daily interactions with loved ones helps mitigate this risk. Reduced risk of loneliness and depression. Social isolation is a leading cause of depression among seniors. Living with family ensures they have regular social engagement, reducing feelings of isolation and improving their mental health. Continued family involvement and purpose. Many elderly individuals find a renewed sense of purpose when they live with their children and grandchildren. They can participate in family activities, provide wisdom and guidance, and feel valued within the household. Potential cost savings. Assisted living facilities and nursing homes can be expensive. Living with family can help save money on housing costs, caregiving expenses, and transportation. Cons. Requires adjustments in family dynamics. Adding an aging parent to a household requires significant lifestyle adjustments for everyone involved. Family members may need to rearrange schedules, modify living spaces, and make emotional and financial compromises. Financial strain. If extra care is needed, while living with family may reduce housing costs, it can also create financial burdens, especially if the parent needs medical care, home modifications, or a full-time caregiver. Potential conflicts due to generational differences. Differences in values, habits, and routines between generations can sometimes lead to tension. Privacy and personal space can also become concerns, requiring clear communication and boundary setting to maintain harmony. Caregiving burden on family members. Providing full-time care for an aging parent, particularly if they have serious health conditions, can be physically and emotionally demanding. Without proper support, caregivers may experience burnout. Option 2. Living independently near family. For seniors who value their independence but still want to remain close to their loved ones, living independently near family can be an excellent solution. This arrangement allows aging parents to maintain their autonomy while ensuring they have easy access to family support when needed. Pros: retains independence. While maintaining family ties, older adults can continue living on their own while still having the comfort of knowing that family is nearby in case of emergencies or assistance. Easier transition. If more care is needed later, if an elderly parent begins to require additional care, living close to family members makes the transition smoother. They can receive help with daily activities without having to make a drastic move. Maintains a sense of control and dignity. Many seniors fear losing their independence. Living on their own gives them a sense of self-reliance, allowing them to make decisions about their daily lives. Encourages social engagement. Aging parents can still maintain friendships and engage in community activities while having the support of their family nearby. Cons: still requires frequent visits to ensure well-being. While seniors may be able to live independently, they may still need assistance with tasks such as grocery shopping, medical appointments, or home maintenance. Regular visits from family members are necessary to ensure their well-being. Potential safety concerns. As mobility and cognitive abilities decline, living alone may become risky. Falls, forgetting to take medications, or struggling with daily tasks can become major concerns. Limited immediate support. In emergencies, waiting for family to arrive can be challenging. Having quick access to help is crucial for elderly individuals living alone. Higher costs for home maintenance and in-home care. If the aging parent needs additional support, hiring in-home caregivers or making home modifications for safety can become costly. Option 3. Assisted living or nursing homes. Assisted living facilities and nursing homes provide professional care for aging parents who need more structured support. While some families may hesitate to consider these options due to concerns about emotional well-being, they can offer many benefits. Pros: professional medical care. Available 24/7, nursing homes provide round-the-clock medical assistance, making them an ideal choice for seniors with chronic illnesses, mobility issues, or cognitive decline. Social activities designed for older adults. Many assisted living facilities offer social programs, fitness classes, and group activities that keep residents engaged and active. Less burden on family caregivers. When elderly parents require significant care, family members may struggle to provide the necessary support. Assisted living removes this burden while ensuring quality care. Safe and adapted living environment. Facilities are designed with seniors in mind, offering accessible spaces, emergency call systems, and staff trained to assist with daily needs. Cons: high costs. Assisted living and nursing home care can be expensive, often requiring substantial financial resources. Families may need to explore insurance options, government assistance, or personal savings to afford these facilities. Emotional distress from separation from family. Moving into a care facility can be emotionally challenging for seniors who are used to being around their loved ones. Feelings of abandonment, sadness, or anxiety may arise. Higher risks of neglect and depression. While many facilities offer excellent care, there are cases where residents experience neglect. It is crucial to carefully research and choose a reputable facility. Adjustment difficulties. Transitioning to an assisted living facility can be difficult for some seniors. especially if they have lived in their own homes for decades. The change in routine and environment can be unsettling. When deciding on the best living arrangement for aging parents, it is important to consider their health condition. If they require regular medical assistance, a nursing home may be the safest option. Financial resources. Some options may be more affordable than others, depending on the family's financial situation. Social and emotional needs. Consider their personality and emotional well-being. Some seniors thrive in a social setting, while others prefer the quiet of home. Family dynamics and availability. If family members are willing and able to provide care, living with family may be the best choice. Long-term plans. It is essential to think about future needs and whether the chosen arrangement will be sustainable as they age further. Every family situation is unique, and there is no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to finding the best living arrangement for aging parents. The key is to have open discussions with them, evaluate their needs realistically, and consider all available options. Whether they live with family, independently near loved ones, or in a professional care setting, ensuring their comfort, safety, and emotional well-being should be the top priority. Part 5. Rebuilding the connection. How to honour and care for our elders. As our parents and grandparents age, they often face physical limitations, social isolation, and emotional challenges. Strengthening our connection with them is not just an act of love, but also a way to preserve wisdom and reinforce family bonds. Here's how we can honour and care for our elders meaningfully. If your aging parent or grandparent is not living with you, making the effort to visit them regularly is essential. Physical presence brings warmth and reassurance that phone calls or messages cannot fully replace. When visiting, engage in meaningful conversations, ask about their past experiences, listen to their stories, and show genuine interest in their thoughts. This not only helps combat loneliness, but also reminds them that they are valued members of the family. Bridging the generation gap can be incredibly enriching for both elders and children. Encourage grandchildren to spend time with their grandparents, whether through storytelling, traditional games, or even learning new skills from them. Elders have a wealth of knowledge and life lessons to pass down, and these interactions help foster mutual respect and understanding between generations. Aging should not mean losing one's voice in family matters. Including elders in discussions, whether about family events, financial decisions, or even simple household matters, helps them feel relevant and respected. This not only boosts their emotional well-being, but also allows the family to benefit from their wisdom and experience. Leverage technology without replacing human connection. While video calls and messaging apps provide a convenient way to stay connected, they should never replace real-life interactions. Teach your elders how to use technology to communicate with family members, but always prioritize in-person visits whenever possible. A warm hug or simply holding hands can provide a level of comfort and emotional support that technology cannot replicate. Many elders find great fulfillment in passing down their cultural and spiritual traditions, whether it's celebrating traditional holidays, practicing rituals, or sharing moral teachings. These moments create deep-rooted family bonds. By actively engaging in these traditions, younger generations not only gain a sense of identity, but also show respect for the values that shaped their elders' lives. By making a conscious effort to connect with and care for our elders, we honour their legacy and ensure that their wisdom continues to guide us for generations to come. How we treat the elderly today sets the standard for how we will be treated tomorrow. The love, respect, and care we extend to older generations shape the values of the younger ones, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond our own lifetimes. Caring for our parents is not just an obligation. It is an investment in our own future, a lesson in empathy that teaches younger generations about love, responsibility, and the importance of human connection. At Golden Years Balance, we believe that aging should never be seen as a burden. Instead, is a natural phase of life that brings wisdom, experience, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters. A society that respects and supports its elders fosters not only stronger families, but also a more compassionate and connected community. When we embrace aging as a journey of continued growth, we create a world where every stage of life is valued and celebrated. If this discussion resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you live with your aging parents, or have you found alternative ways to support them? How does your culture or family approach elder care? Let's open up a meaningful conversation about how we can build a world that cherishes and uplifts every generation. And don't forget, if you found this discussion valuable, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from Golden Years Balance. Together, we can redefine what it means to age with dignity, love, and purpose. Because when we honour our elders, we honour the best parts of ourselves and create a legacy of kindness for future generations.